It is a very important law of electrostat and holds only for point charges. Suppose we have 2 point charges q1, q2 placed in free space at separation small r. Then, according to this law, the electrostatic force acting between these 2 point charges F is directly proportional to the product of charges q1 and q2, and F is also inversely proportional to square of distance between these 2 point charges. These two statements give a single statement F proportional to q1 q2 upon r square. It means F is equal to K is the proportionality constant, q1 q2 upon r square. Suppose we write this as equation 1. This is your Coulomb's law. If epsilon naught is the electric permittivity of free space, then K can be written as K is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. Here the value of K is numeric value of K is 9.0 into 10 to power 9 Newton meter square upon Coulomb square. So we can write equation 1 as F is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 upon r square. Suppose this is your equation 2. This equation is also called Coulomb's law in free space. This is your Coulomb's law in free space. Coulomb's law in free space. If the charges are placed in any other medium having electric permittivity epsilon, then this law is given by F is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon q1 q2 upon r square, where we replace epsilon naught by epsilon. This is your equation 3. Here epsilon is the electric permittivity of the given medium. The ratio epsilon epsilon upon epsilon naught is called relative permittivity of the medium. It is denoted by epsilon, r, or k. K is also called dielectric constant of the medium. So we can write epsilon as epsilon is equal to epsilon naught k. Using this value in equation 3, we get F is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught k q1 q2 upon r square. This is your equation 4. Coulomb's law. Between two charges placed in a medium having dielectric constant k. Dielectric constant k is defined as k is equal to epsilon upon epsilon naught. For free space, it is also called vacuum, or air. Value of epsilon is f equal to epsilon naught. Therefore, for free space, k will be equal to epsilon naught upon epsilon naught equal to 1. Note. As we know that 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught is equal to 9.0 into 10 to power 9 Newton meter square upon Coulomb square. Therefore, epsilon naught will be equal to 1 upon 4 pi into 9.0 into 10 to power 9 Coulomb square upon Newton meter square is equal to 1 upon 4 into 3.14 into 9.0 into 10 to power 9 Coulomb upon Newton meter square. It will be equal to 8.8 8.854 into 10 to power, it is approximately equal to, not exactly, approximately 10 to power minus 12 Coulomb upon Newton meter square. Newton meter square. So Coulomb's law in a dielectric medium is given by 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught k q1 q2 upon r square. Here the dielectric constant of the dielectric medium is k. q1 q2 are 2 point charges placed at separation r in this medium. We can also write this equation as 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 upon k r square. This is k. This k is shifted here. 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 upon, we can write this expression as r square root k whole square. It is equal to k r square or r square k. If we assume let r under root k is equal to r1, then we can write f is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 upon r1 square. Suppose it is your equation 5. Now this formula is same as the formula of force between two charges q1 and q2 placed in free space at separation r1. But this f is also equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught k q1 q2 upon r square. So if we have to replace a dielectric medium K by vacuum, we have to replace R by R1, which is equal to R1 is equal to R square root K. R square root K. For example, if we have 2 point charges q1 and q2, separated by distance r, and let a dielectric slab of a thickness T is placed between these two charges. This is your dielectric slab having dielectric constant K. Thickness of this dielectric slab is T. It is the thickness of dielectric slab. T is the thickness. So first we replace the thickness T by equivalent distance in vacuum, which will be equal to T root K, and the formula of force between these two charges will be F is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 upon square of distance between two charges in free space, which is, here we write the net distance in free space, which will be equal to r minus t, subtract this distance t corresponding to dielectric slab, and add its equivalent distance in free space, which is t under root k. This is the formula or Coulomb's law for the electrostatic force acting between two charges placed in vacuum and have a slab of thickness T having dielectric constant K. If there is no dielectric medium, then T will be equal to 0. That is, thickness of this dielectric slab will be equal to 0. And in this case, your F will be equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 upon R minus 0 plus 0 root K whole square. It will be equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 upon R square. But if the space between charges Q1 and Q2 separated by distance r is completely filled with dielectric medium, then in this case T will be equal to R, and so F will be equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 upon R minus R plus R root K whole square equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 upon R square K, which will be equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught K Q1 Q2 upon R square. Now we will discuss the Coulomb's law in vector form. Suppose Q1 and Q2 are two charges placed in free space, and the position vector of Q2 with respect to Q1 is R. It is R. R cap is the unit vector in the direction of R. Let position vector of point A with respect to origin O is R1. It is your position vector with respect to origin O, and with respect to origin O, the position vector of point charge Q2 is R2. It is R2. The electrostatic force acting on charge B due to charge at A is F BA will be equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 upon r square. But in vector form, we can write it here r cap. This is the direction of r cap, and as the electrostatic force is of repulsion in nature, therefore it will be in the direction of r cap. Let us call it equation 6. And similarly, the force on charge at A due to charge at B is F is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. This force on charge A will be in this direction, F A B, which is opposite to r cap, and force F B A will be in this direction, F B A will be in this direction. It is your FAB. Q1 Q2 upon r square. The direction of FAB is opposite to the vector of our position vector, unit vector r cap. So here we write minus r cap, as this force is oppositely directed to r cap. That is FAB will be equal to minus 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 upon r square into r cap. This is your negative sign, is equal to this value is equal to FBA. So we can write FBA at the place of this value. It will be equal to minus, this minus is here, FBA, that is FAB is equal to minus FBA. So it is clear that electrostatic force also forms action-reaction pair, as FAB is equal to minus FBA. FAB is the force on charge A due to charge B, and FBA is the force on charge B due to charge A, and negative sign is also here. So we can say that electrostatic force forms action-reaction pair. If we write it as equation number 7, let it is equation number 7. So equation 6 and 7 are the vector forms of the Coulomb's law. Now in above figure, we can also write position vector AB is equal to position vector B of B minus position vector of A by vector algebra. That is R vector is equal to R2, the value of position vector OB is R2, and minus R1. So magnitude R will be equal to R2 minus R1. Therefore, FAB can be written as minus 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 upon R square R cap. Substitute these values here. 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 upon R square. Value of R is R2 minus R1 square into R cap. Value of R cap is R2 minus R1 upon R2 minus R1. As we know that unit vector R cap is equal to vector R upon magnitude of R. So this is the value of unit vector R cap is equal to minus 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 upon magnitude of R2 minus R1 cube into R2 minus R1. Similarly, we can also write FBA is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 upon R2 minus R1 cube into R2 minus R1. And equation 8. Equations here we write similarly. Equations 7 and 8. Equations 7 and 8 represent the electrostatic forces on charges at B and A respectively in vector form. Coulomb forces also follow the principle of superposition. Suppose we have several charges Q1, Q2, Q3 and a test charge Q0 is placed at position P. Let A, B and C are the positions of charges Q1, Q2, Q3 and so on respectively. then the net force on test charge Q naught will be equal to F will be equal to the vector sum of all these forces F1, F2, F3 due to charges Q1, Q2 and Q3 respectively. That is, F will be equal to F1, F2 plus F2 plus F3 and so on respectively. This is your principle of superposition for Coulombic forces. Principle of superposition.